What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.whatsupinthesky.com, and you were looking at an Apollo 11 famous photograph. This is one that's been out on all the message board. The Living Moon's got it, all sorts of good stuff. I'll put some of those links below so you can find even more on this picture that I'm going to show you. It's one of the ones that NASA did not catch when they were pulling out some of them, and one that's really neat. It shows civilization. I think it shows many signs of possibly mining. Or actually living, something else going on the moon, actual structures and towers and a lot here. And after I'm done this one, I got another one on the moon I'm going to do that my buddy just passed along to me. The moon's just, I've been doing a lot of moon pictures lately. I've been just intrigued with some of the stuff that's come back. And like I said, I'm trying to get a good list of, I'm trying to hit every anomaly on the moon and Mars. And believe me, I've got another 1,000 videos to do. So let's get into this one real quick. And let me show you quick where it is. This is a AS 11-41-6156, and then the HR-JPEG is, if you click the link, I always put in a link below. If you're new to my videos, check out my descriptions. You're going to find a link to the actual photograph, so you won't have to go typing in or looking here. I'm going to link it below, as always. So let's get into this thing and take a look here. Now we're just going to start off by, let me pull it back a little bit so you can see what we're looking at. Ooh, a little bit too far back. A couple anomalies I want to go over here. If you can see, a couple neat ones too that we're gonna have to go over. Like I said, 'cause you usually don't get this many from NASA. This is where were we at? I was looking at crater number 308 is where I was. Okay, here we go, right here. This is a good start for it because you can see right here there's the like a boxy area here that's got a bunch of structures in it. What we're gonna do is, I haven't done this yet, so this is gonna be, I've seen this done though on other channels and on the Living Moon. We're going to go ahead and adjust it just a tad with the exposure. Let's see if we can't pull some gamma into it and maybe drop some of the exposure there a little bit. It's like so bright naturally. Yeah, maybe too much there. Let's see if I can get the gamma. It's hard to tell what it's going to look like on the actual video when it's in the HD format compared to what it's going to look like on my screen. But if you can see the buildings here, there's a tall building here and it's got a long shadow. There's another one here with a long shadow. Um, Here's another line of buildings or something along those lines, and it comes back out to here and goes straight across. Now this is hardly anything compared to what some of the stuff that's also in here. So let's keep on moving. That right there to me was a neat catch. I saw this is the one, that's what actually caught my eye when I was looking at these anomalies. But then there's a whole bunch more as we come through. Up here, two more buildings on the side of this crater. See them here? These long ones here. Um, Now let's go bounce right across the way. Well, let's start over here and go across. Look at these what seem to be buildings here in a row. It seem to have like the symmetry between them. Like, let's go ahead and grab the thing here and see if we can't darken some of these. Let's just see if it takes what it does to the whole picture. If I can do the whole picture. Let's see, auto. And I'm gonna set the pinwheel on fire. Edit. That pulled him out a little bit there. Edit. Let me step backwards on that. Not do that again. But basically, if you follow them here, there's this interesting real dark line here. We got like these structures here. If you look to the, let me get this back here. Like this one and this one also have these next to them. These 1, 2 right there coming off the edge, and follow 1, 2, 3, and they're just in a straight line. And you can say, oh, those are rocks in a straight line like that, in a perfectly straight line. You're gonna find where there's the exact same size ones. It look like modular buildings that they rolled out. On here, it looks to see a little tower coming up over this dark crater there. See how much taller that is along the lines. Now, next I'm going to take you to the civilization evidence, and this to me was mind-blowing too. This is cool, and I'm surprised that this got out. NASA let this one get out. See here, you're going to see the rows and everything here. You got the V-shaped right there, one coming down. And let me go ahead and let's see if we can't do what we did with the spinning it around. Hold on, let me get that back to where it was. All right. It still got it. Not exactly. There we go. Almost. There we are. almost. Okay, image, adjust, exposure. Once again, it's got that. Let's drop the exposure so we can see some of the gamma here. And that pulls out some of the, makes it a little bit darker, but what we're looking at here is, see this line of buildings or roads here? They look like buildings because they're up in the air. Here seems to be a square. Let me pull it in even more. See, this looks like civilization. This may have been where the mine. See, I still think it's mining operation. I would look at the moon. I don't see like a habitat for people, but people swear there are bases there, that it's going on, that it's been there forever, that some of these aren't just old. Like I'm thinking a lot of this stuff is old, ancient artifacts have just been there forever, maybe from a possible civilization way long time ago that we just don't understand along those lines. But let's see some of this down through here. Look at the actual symmetry in these. You know, right there, it looks like the figure 8 right there. It comes up. Perfect roads, perfect lines. And in this one here is just, it comes to the head. It's almost like if you're looking at some of our modern streets today here, like this would be coming down and it meets there and it's a perfect triangle. There's outbuildings here, outbuildings 1, 2, 3, and you're going to see, well, I'm going to take you to some more of these outbuildings. They're amazing. Some of them are huge and tall, like this one right here. Let's look at this guy right here. Look at this one, this big white building. It's sitting here. It blends in very well with behind it because of it. But you can see the shadow it's leaving there. It's leaving a decent shadow on it. Let me go ahead and come down here. Let's take a look at some of that. So the civilization evidence is pretty neat. Here it looks like a ridge line. It just looks like more of what could be maybe mining or strip mining along those senses. Now go ahead and download this one. This one's cool too over here. Once again, you're looking at what I think are structures, and see how dark it is on the edge of this? Like I think this might be where they're doing the mining, but you can see the structures are fairly tall. Look how big they are compared to the other ones. And you can see actually the 3 tiers of these buildings. Since they're so close together, here's a smaller building, a little bit medium-sized building, and then there's a tall building right there. Very in your face, hard to miss that. Um, Up here is interesting. I'm not sure what this is darkened out here for. Like I guess this is coming off of just the way it drops down and the sun skirts across and it doesn't get it. But on the outskirts of the darkness, there once again are there's some buildings. This is interesting here, how this comes along and cuts off just like a very. You're gonna see that a bunch more down here. But look at that. It's a perfect angle. Up here's another one. It's kind of not as perfect, but it's just interesting. Um, check this thing out. Whatever this looks like, some sort of dome with a very bright top to it. What do you think that is? Huh. Just interesting. That doesn't look like any normal crater or anything I've seen in these pictures before. It almost looks like it's way up above, like an arch up above, and this is either this ground dirt through here, you can see it, or this bright reflective stuff is right there in the middle, like the donut there in the middle. It's very weird, interesting one right there. I like that. And this picture is one, like I said, this one I came to. It's been out there, so a lot of people have done a lot more research on this. Now this one's cool too. As we get over here to the towers and some of the other civilization evidence, you're going to see some of these. Look how tall this guy is right here. It looks like it's got 1, 2, 3 main structures, and this goes straight up. Very weird structure there. Almost looks like looks like one of those old things. If you guys remember Pitfall, the game Pitfall on Atari, this see how old you are. How old are you? If you remember Pitfall, this looks like one of those little things you used to have to fight. It looks like the little thing head would come up here, and the body was like a square body, but just very interesting. And you say have these pretty tall little buildings here, and that's what a crater looks like. That's a crater for people, and then say, oh, these are just craters, and that is not a crater right there. And I just say that's not a crater. And look here, we've got some figure 8 things traveled in. I just thought they were interesting. And here we have a building that's got it themselves a pretty tall something on the roof. It looks like almost, or maybe that's just the way it looks to me. Possible evidence there. Now there was some really big. Okay, here we are in the corner. Sorry about this, guys. Not trying to make you sick. More of just seems to be these little candy cane things that we see, and then the circles. It's almost like there was on Mars, you see the dust devils that come through here, but there's nothing like that supposedly on the moon, so not sure what would make those trails so light. All right, what do we got up here? Up here, this just seems to be very symmetrical here. Look at this right here, how it comes across and comes down. It looks like it's some sort of machine or something that's on the edge of this. Maybe it almost looks like a dam. This almost kind of looks like water here. Like this would, like it gets really dark, like it could be. But, you know, with the black and white, who really knows? All right, let's keep going around. Let's keep going as we keep moving. Um, the moon just looks like the perfect place to mine. I've always thought that for some reason. Okay, we missed this one down here. See how choppy? This is a huge file, and I've made it even bigger on mine by just pumping up it. Okay, here we go. Some more of these structures on the dark. Now, all the structures you always see are always on the outside of these really dark areas. It's almost like they know what's in something or is in these deposits, or maybe not where they reach the sun. Maybe it's something about the coolness they use, something there. But check these structures out here along the way. They almost look like dugouts. If this was if this was going straight up that way and this was a ball field, it almost looked like dugouts on the side of it. But there's definitely something. It's definitely coming up above the rest because you can see how it's shaped. When it goes down, the sun catches it right here on the edges of each one of these little buildings. Pretty weird. Sounds like and people this just not supposed to be here, it's the moon. This stuff's in here. Once again, we're coming back over to where we've got these would seem to be. This here is interesting because this guy, like I said, this is where we were at first with this square base here, this rectangular base here, and these ridges here, they're almost like double walls, almost like they've been mined. See how perfect they run here? That one right here and the one right here, almost perfectly run. Uh, Now I missed a couple of the pretty tall. I got that one down there. Should have been one more, a couple more pretty tall buildings I missed here. Where'd you guys go? Got that one. I showed those. Let's see, were there a couple up here? Here's something. Okay, here's one right here. This is just kind of I don't know if this was a piece of something on the lens or whatever, but look how bright it is compared to the rest of the places around it. It almost looks like it has a little bit of a shadow, but it's kind of far off, so I can't call that actual shadow. Here's one of the buildings here that are pretty big. Okay, check this out. And it even comes up here, and it's on the side, once again, of one of these really dark areas. Like maybe they do some sort of fusion. Maybe there's something about the cold in that dark, because I know the moon's cold. They supposedly pretty chilly up there, especially where there's no sun or anything. So, do you think these buildings might be on these areas for a reason? Then again, you have some out here in the middle of nowhere too, which I don't think I can actually qualify that one as a building. Um, let's see, more interesting stuff up here. That's just I think is a mark on the camera. I just marked out to myself. And I'm probably missing all sorts of things here. I know when I go through these videos after I made them, if I watch them again, a lot of times I won't watch them again. But if I did, I'm like, oh man, I missed that. I missed that. Ah, look at that over there. And I get you guys send me some amazing things from the stuff. I always get good stuff from you guys. And this whole area down here, this was the most interesting. That one square part up there, and this right here, to me, like this just screams civilization, just because of the advanced layout of this right here. And it looks like it's designed to do something. It's got main roads come through it. This is a big, huge circular buildings or something going on right here. And let me see if I can't do this one more. Let's try and mess with this just a little bit more. Image adjustment. Let me do some auto contrast. Ooh, that brought it straight out. Auto tone. Let me back up off of those two. But when you bring it out like that, you definitely can still see that it's got this part here still perfect there. Step backwards, image. Let me try myself with the brightness and the contrast. Brightness. Since I brought it down, oh, there we go. I might bring it out some. Pull it up a little bit. So you can see that there, that's that perfect triangle. It looks just like a road, and once again, all this is over on the edge of these really dark areas that seem to have something to do with what's going on, like where the work's being done or something like that. Maybe those are the mines, but to me, the moon screams mining. I don't know. Well, anyways, guys, I got a really cool one that's coming up next. I'm gonna go. Olympus Sky already did it. He's a buddy of mine. Check out his stuff. His name is Chris. You can. He's in my top people. If you go to my front page, I guess they call it the. They keep changing so much here on YouTube. It's basically off of my main subscription page. When you come to my page, you see all my videos listed, everything there. Um, I've got him linked there as well, but I'm going to do the next video. It's cool. He found some structures. The next thing, actually, you can see real statues on Mars coming from it. Not on Mars, on the moon. And like I said, been on the moon kick lately. I just got over the flu, kind of little flu. I hit up all the Zycam before. Right as I started getting sick, I got some of that and some airborne and feel a little bit better. So anyways, guys, hit the description down below, download this picture, add it to your stuff. You could probably find a lot more on here than I did. It's very washed out, so you drop the exposure down, play around with it. You guys know what to do. All I do is stick it up here so you guys have something to start from, show you where I see stuff, show you where other people have seen stuff. And like I said, I'll leave the link to the Living Moon website so you guys have to see where they found on this picture. And, peace be with you. Have a wonderful night, wonderful day, whatever time you're watching this. 15 minutes in. What's Up in the Sky 37, what's up in the sky.com. Take care.